everybody! I'm here today to answer a simple question about cars. The question is, are new cars harder to repair than old ones? And a lot of people ask this question because there's a lot of confusion. The truthful answer is yes and no. That's the short answer, but I'll explain why it's a yes and why it's also a no. Let's get right into the video. So, as you know, with modern cars, with new cars, okay, there's a lot of electronic equipment involved, okay? The computers are so advanced and they mainly run off of computer-based technology. The only thing that happens with the engine essentially is it actually produces the combustion, but after that, the computer just takes care of everything else. So there's a ton of electronics and a ton of extra parts in these engines nowadays, okay? And in the whole car nowadays, even in your door panel, there's gonna be like 50 extra parts compared to before, right? So there's a lot of extra parts. Now these extra parts, okay, the computer-based technology allows them to be easier to diagnose what the problem is, but harder to actually fix and replace. Now let me explain why. So basically, because of computers, you can plug in an OBD2 scanner, you can scan the car, it'll tell you exactly what the problem is. You can do certain electronic tests using a multimeter, you'll find out exactly what the problem is. Easily. In a matter of moments, you'll find out what the problem is. But then when you take off your door panel, let's say it's like a window regulator or something like that, a window component. When you take off your door panel, to get to that window component, you might have to take an hour to go through all the electronic components and remove all these small plastic pieces and so forth. So it's easier to find out that it's your alternator that's going, or it's your distributor cap and rotor, or it's, you know, the fuel pump. It's easier to find that out because of the scanning tools and the electronic ability and the electronic equipment. But to get to those things is much harder. If you look at the engine bay of an older car, you'll see it's basically a few main components, a few mechanical components, and a handful of wires, okay? So it's easy. You can replace the battery, like you take out like 2 bolts that hold it in place and you replace the battery. Whereas nowadays, you know, everything's covered. So like just to get to the battery, you have to take off a battery cover and then a battery bottom half, then maybe the coolant thing is attached to the side of it. You got to pull that to the side, the overflow tank, let's say, and then you have to take out the battery strap, and then on the battery there's going to be maybe a big block connector with like 6 wires coming out of it, blah blah blah. So it's easier to figure out what the problem is, but it's harder to actually fix those parts, okay? You know, finding like the starter motor on a car, you got to dig through tons of stuff to get to it. Okay, finding the alternator, like it's bolted to the side of the engine, most of the time it should be, but you still have to get through a lot of stuff that just wasn't there 40, 50 years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So with that being said, yes and no is the answer. New cars are easier to diagnose, but harder to actually replace the part. So meaning, are they easier to repair? Yes, because you can find the problem easier, but no, because you actually have to take things out to like get to the part. That's it. That is the best answer that I can give you for that question. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.